When we think of Hollywood's golden age, we imagine elegance, charm, and star-studded glamour. But behind those glitzy facades were faces that could chill you to the bone. Villains so potent, they define evil on a silver screen. Today, we're diving into the world of classic Hollywood villains as named by none other than the legendary Paul Newman, uncovering the most wicked actors of the golden age. Prepare to meet the masters of menace, the icons of intimidation, and the kings of cruelty who brought movie nightmares to life. Part 1. Setting the stage. What makes a golden age villain? During Hollywood's golden age, from the 1930s through the 1950s, us villains were larger than life. They were defined not by subtlety, but by unmistakable menace-cold eyes, cruel smirks, booming voices, and deeds that felt all too real. Paul Newman, beloved for his roles as charismatic anti-heroes and romantic leads, grew up watching these villains dominate the screen. Actors who embodied malevolence in every gesture. He once pointed out which performers truly made evil feel real, unforgettable, and downright terrifying. Part 2. Edward G. Robinson, the gangster archetype. First up, Edward G. Robinson. Born Emanuel Goldenberg in Romania, Robinson became the quintessential tough guy of classic cinema. In Little Caesar, he played Rico Bandello, ruthless, ambitious, and remorseless. His icy eyes seemed to cut right into your soul. Newman admired how Robinson turned gangster roles into icons of fear. His charisma made his characters magnetic, but his cruelty made them unforgettable. He didn't just play villains, he was the gangster. That's precisely what made him so chilling to Newman and audiences alike. Robinson's villainy wasn't flashy, it was grounded. It felt like someone you might actually encounter in a dark alley stunt, and that made his evil all the more terrifying. Part 3. Actor 2, the charismatic cruelty. Next, Newman pointed to actors who combined charm with cruelty. Villains who smiled while inflicting pain. Their genteel voice could quickly devolve into sinister threat, lulling you before striking. These actors weren't only evil, they made evil look sophisticated. How do you top that? With elegance and menace intertwined. Having reels of charm, they baited the victims and the audience into a false sense of ease before throwing them into darkness. That, says Newman, is the true genius of cinematic villainy. Part 4. Actor 3, the sinister innocent. Third on Newman's list, villains who could play innocence until they didn't. These were the ones who'd look you in the eye with trust and then stab you in the back. Newman admired actors who could mask cruelty behind a pleasant facade. They slipped from harmless to horrifying in seconds, turning basements into battlegrounds, a whisper into a threat. To Newman, that kind of latent evil was more terrifying because it could be anyone, anywhere. Part 5. Why these villains still terrify. Why do these villains endure? Newman believed it's because their evil wasn't played, it felt real. By exaggerating traits just enough, these actors mirrored the darkness lurking in us all. Their performances reminded us that charm, intensity, and control could hide malevolence, making us question trust. Glances and smiles. In a way, these villains served as cultural mirrors showing what happens when society's darker impulses take center stage. Part 6. Newman's perspective. So why would Paul Newman, a Hollywood icon of decency and cool, choose these actors as his benchmarks for evil? Because they defined his contrast. Newman was often cast as the good guy, the rugged hero, or the underdog with heart. Watching actors who embodied pure evil real, refined. Menacing helped him shape his own moral compass on screen. He learned from them what his characters shouldn't be, and that sharpened his own performances. Part 7. Legacy of villainy, then and now. These golden age villains set the template for every bad guy since. From menacing tycoons to silent psychopaths, they taught us that villainy needed depth. Today, actors still nod to those performances with subtle nods, a silenced glance, a momentary smirk, a poised threat. Newman's list reminds us villainy doesn't need gore, it needs presence. Few actors understood the power of good better than Paul Newman, and by naming these golden age villains, he told us something deeper, that heroism only shines when there's darkness to fight. If you want to learn what makes a villain unforgettable, look to Edward G. Robinson and his peers. They didn't just play evil, they became it. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by the psychology of golden age villains or want more deep dives like this, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and let's explore Hollywood's dark side together.